Hi guys, it's Alyssa from Planet Alyssa, here with my weekly What I Sold on Etsy report. And I'm happy to report it's been a very busy week. I guess Christmas is on its way soon, I don't know, but I did sell a lot of things this week. Sold a total of 29 items on Etsy this week, with a total selling price of $446, which is pretty awesome. So I'll show you everything that sold this week and how much they sold for, and if I can remember where I picked them up, I will tell you that as well. Okay, let's take a look. Once again this week, the first thing that sold was a Care Bears item. This week it was this Care Bears mug, which sold for $7. I picked it up at a thrift store. This was a really adorable set of vintage note cards. They're blank inside with cute illustrations on the outside. This was a set of, I believe, 18 cards, which I sold for $15. And I picked these up along with some other stationery products at a flea market, which was more like a garage sale fundraiser thing. This is a vintage pair of Woolrich insulated pants. They sold for $35 and I picked them up at a rummage sale. This vintage booby trap game has a wooden board and wooden playing pieces. It sold for $20 and I picked this up at an auction. This vintage dresser box or container, it has a glass bottom and a metal lid, sold for $10. I picked this up at a garage sale. This is a pair of miniature Siamese cat figurines. They sold for $6 and I picked them up in a box lot at an auction. This mini coin purse keychain thing with a little bowling ball theme sold for $6 and I picked it up at a thrift store. These are two vintage money receipt books with tear-off receipts. They sold for $12 and I picked these up in a box lot at an auction. This is a wooden dollhouse wardrobe or armoire. It's a little miniature. It has working drawers and a little hanger inside. It sold for $15. I picked this up with some other dollhouse stuff at a rummage sale. Oh, and I should also point out that this is not quite in perfect condition. As you can see from the front, it's missing one of the little pulls on the door. This is a vintage rotary phone with a very fancy style. It was originally a light blue, but it's faded to a minty green. It sold for $70. This is actually one of these things I sort of inherited. It belonged at one time to my boyfriend's grandfather. This phone was tested and it works. The housing for the jack on the bottom is a little bit broken, and so the call quality was kind of staticky, but we were able to make calls and receive calls, and it has a great old-fashioned ring to it. This is a set of Bible dominoes which sold for $12. I picked this set up at a thrift store. This pretty vintage box originally held some kind of Max Factor product, maybe some sort of powder. It sold for $20 and I picked it up at a church rummage sale. This antique book is from the 19-teens. It's Barr's View Album of Paisley. It has a pretty ornate cover, as you can see, and inside it's kind of like a high-tech thing with these beautiful photos, which at least for the time, were pretty fancy in a book. It sold for $15, and I believe I picked this up at a library book sale. This is an old heating grate that was taken out of an older house, I guess. It's got a pretty ornate style to it. It's also pretty solid and heavy. I sold this for $55. I accepted an offer on. I had it listed a little higher. I had it listed, I think, at $75. But somebody made an offer. It is big, it is heavy. I was glad to make some room upstairs. I picked this up at a barn sale. This is a miniature vintage souvenir pennant from Atlantic City, New Jersey, which sold for $10. I picked this up at a thrift store. This handkerchief is also kind of a miniature thing. I believe it's a child's handkerchief. It's illustrated with a Christmas theme, as you can see. It's not quite perfect. There was a little bit of dirt on it. It sold for $5, and I believe I picked this up in a bag at a thrift store. This pair of old eyeglasses came in their original case, and based on the label on the case, I'm guessing these are from the 1920s. These sold for $45, and I picked them up also at a barn sale. I think the same one where I got that heating grate. These vintage illustrated playing cards sold for $18. This is 2 decks of cards, a bridge set. They are in a plastic case, and they're in very nice condition. I picked these up in a box lot at an auction. These are some more cards that came from that same flea market garage sale thing. These are miniature all occasion greeting cards that sold for $10. I don't know too much about this badge or pin. It's definitely got a military look to it with the flags there and the gold embroidery. It's made of fabric, and then there is a pin attached to the back, so it looks like something that could have been attached to a uniform perhaps. I picked it up at a rummage sale, and this sold for $20. This vintage backgammon set sold for $40, and if you watched my rummage sale video, this is one of the ones I picked up at a rummage sale a few weeks ago. I made special arrangements with the buyer of this item. She was someone that wasn't comfortable making online purchases and asked if she could mail a money order to me, so I said that would be fine. And we had a few conversations on the phone so that all the details could be worked out. I didn't really need to do that because, as I've said, backgammon sets sell pretty well, but she was a nice person and she was really eager to get this set. Thank you everyone for watching. My name is Alyssa. I run Planet Alyssa, a vintage Etsy shop. And on this YouTube channel, I put out different videos to help people who have an Etsy shop or thinking about starting one, and to give you some ideas about the type of things that sell and how much they go for. I put out these what I sold videos every week, and then I do try to put out other helpful Etsy videos when I get a chance. Okay everyone, have a great week and happy selling!